Hello, my name is Nathan Banks, and this is my presentation will be on AOL and Time Warner case. Today, should I will be presenting an analysis of corporate restructuring using AOL Time Warner merger as my primary case study. This merger is widely regarded as one of the most significant and intrusive failure in business history. The purpose of this presentation is to evaluate the motivation behind the restructuring, the impact of key stakeholders, the major obstacles should encounter, and to ultimately determine whether the efforts created or destroyed values. Let's go with the overview of the restructuring efforts. In 2000, should American Online and Time Warner should announce a merger valued at approximately $350 billion, making this is the largest merger in history at its time. Although presented as a merger of equals, AOL should acquire Time Warner using its highly valued stocks. At the time, this deal was viewed as a bold and strategic move that would combine traditional media with should emergency internet capabilities. However, what initially should appears to be a transformative opportunity ultimately became a case study in value destruction. What's the motivation behind this deal? Well, the primary motivations behind this merger was the rapid digital transformation of the media industry. Should executives believe that the internet would fundamentally change how content was produced, distributed, and consumed by combining AOL's digital platform with Time Warner extensive media asset, leadership anticipated strong synergy and low long-term growth. But this deal was positioned as a way to dominate the future of the media. But however, as we now understand, these synergy expectations were overly optimistic and not grounded in realistic execution capabilities. The stakeholder impact was important. The impact of this restructuring effort on stakeholders was significant and largely negative. Employees experienced layoffs, uncertainties, and culture conflicts between the two organizations. Shareholders suffered substantially financial losses as the value of the combined company declined dramatically over time. Customers saw little improvement in services or value despite the promises of innovations. And additionally, should executive face reputational damage and leadership turnover as the merger failed to meet its expectation. The major obstacles to success. Several critical obstacles contribute to the failure of this merger. Let's talk first. First, there was a significant culture incompatibility between AOL fast-moving digital environment and Time Warner traditional media structure. Secondly, the deal relied heavily on AOL overvalued stock, which became a major issue when the dot-com bubble burst shortly after the merger. And thirdly, the integration strategy was poorly executed, with little alignment between operational, leadership, and organizational goal. And finally, accounting issues and declining trust further weakened the company's ability to succeed. Now, what was the restructural success? Well, based on the both financial outcomes and strategic performance, this restructuring effort is widely considered unsuccessful. The merger failed to deliver on its promise synergy and instead resulted in significant destruction of shareholders' value. Over time, the combined companies was forced to separate, with AOL to eventually being spun off. This outcome reinforced a key concept in corporate finance that many mergers fail not because of poor strategy, but because of poor execution. And the key lessons are this: that there are several important lessons that modern organization can take from this case. First, synergy assumption must be realistic and supported by operational capabilities. And second, the organizational culture plays a critical role in the success or failure of a merger. And third, market timing is essential, as external economic conditions can quickly undermine even well planned strategies. And finally, execution is more important than strategy. Without discipline, integration, and alignment, even the most promising deal can fail. In conclusion, the AOL and Time Warner merger served as a powerful example of the complexity and risk associated with corporate restructuring. While the vision behind the merger was ambitious, the failure to execute effectively ultimately destroyed the company. Thank you for your time and attention, and God bless.